Hi guys, welcome back to Christy's Book Corner. I am your host, Christy Mason. Today we're going to be continuing from chapter 5. The Adventures of Connecticut, Connecticut's Journey to Grand Central Station. Oh my god, I can't say his name. Okay, and chapter 7 is the next one. This one's chapter 7. The Grand Central Party. I love parties. I went to one last night. On Monday morning, Connecticut jumped out of bed, and he went to the kitchen. He didn't know it yet, but there was a group of reporters at the station entrance, and they were waiting to speak to him. Mom Race walked into the kitchen. Good morning, Connecticut Central. Come on, read it properly. Connecticut. I just heard on the news that there is a group of reporters in the station lobby. They said they were waiting to speak to a boy named Connecticut. Do you know why they're looking for you? Not the reporters again. That happens sometimes, Connecticut answered. They think I'm somebody famous because I'm named after a state. And because of what happened to my parents, it's not a big deal to me. But I wonder how they know I'm here. You didn't think they know that we live here, do you? No, they could possibly know you live here. They couldn't possibly know you live here, Marmers answered. They said later they said they'd heard stories of a boy named Connecticut who helps people in the station, and they also know that you work here. They've also heard about you singing New York, New York, when you were working. Connecticut got dressed, brushed his teeth, and walked out of their apartment door. He didn't want to talk to the reporters, and he was tired of being followed. He stayed inside the station, away from the reporters, and waited until they were gone. They hadn't seen him, and he was glad about that. As soon as the reporters left, Connecticut walked out to the front door down 42nd Street toward his school, because the school was nearby. It was easy for Connecticut to get there without being followed. Connecticut had become well known at school, too. Everyone in the school knew who he was. He seemed to have become more famous than some of the true famous kids in New York City, like Richie Rich. No, I'm joking. No, Richie Rich was filmed in Chicago. Connecticut walked home from school by himself. He knew that the Reeses were trying very hard to protect him, because they didn't want him to get hurt. Even though New York was filled with many bad people, the Reeses had kept him safe. They taught him to hide whenever any of the bullies or gang members did come around. The bullies who had been in the station earlier got into big trouble with security guards because of the way they treated Connecticut. The security guards were doing a good job of keeping the bullies under control, but in his heart, Connecticut knew that someday they would be back. It was the following weekend, and Connecticut thought this Saturday was going to be an exciting day. There was going to be a big party inside Grand Central. Connecticut liked the fact that it was a party for no particular reason. This party was going to be a celebration of happiness, joy, and everything good. The group organized the party wanted the people of New York to forget all about the bad stuff in their lives. The day was extra special for Connecticut because many of his friends from both New York and his hometown state were coming to the party to see him. His only disappointment was that Kate would not be there. She had left with her family for a vacation somewhere in Florida. There were a lot of people in the station, and Connecticut's many friends waited for him to come down the stairs. They had paid big money to get to the party, and they couldn't wait to see Connecticut. Connecticut walked up the stairs and saw a sea of people waiting for him. He couldn't help himself and flashed 1,000 smile as he waved to everyone. He ran toward his high school friends from Hartford. There were so many people surrounding Connecticut that Jordan and Christopher couldn't get near him. Connecticut was especially happy to see one of his old buddies from Hartford, Melman. Melman, like Madagascar. Melman, I can't believe you're here, Connecticut said as he punched him lightly in the arm. How are you doing? Great, Melman answered. And I'll be seeing you more because I moved to New York. My dad got transferred here. Cool, Connecticut replied. That's awesome. Connecticut spent as much time as he could with Melman during the party. They laughed and shared stories with many of their other Hartford friends. When the party ended later in the evening, they were all tired. The three brothers went back to their apartment and slumped down on the sofa. Jordan opened a can of Coke and took a long gulp. That was a great party, wasn't it? Christopher said. Yeah, it sure was, Jordan agreed. What are some of the things that you always wanted? Connecticut asked Jordan. What if there was some magic person who could grant you a wish? What would you wish for? I've always wanted to have another brother, Jordan answered. Me too, Christopher added. You're both lucky. You got what you wanted, Connecticut replied, because he's the new brother. You're right, we are lucky, Jordan said, taking another long gulp of his Coke. Thanks, Connecticut replied. I'm glad that we're all around the same age, too. We think you're really cool, Christopher piped up. And so is your friend Lexington, whom we met 2 chapters ago. When is he coming over again? I'm not sure, Connecticut answered. Well, let us know, Jordan said. I thought it was cool when we played all those games. You're both fun to hang out with. Connecticut sat back and closed his eyes. Everyone liked him, and he was happy about that. Life is better since Connecticut became a part of our family, Jordan thought to himself. Connecticut's cell phone rang. Lexington was on the line. Connecticut thought this was funny because they had just talked about him. Hi, Lexington. What's up? I'm taking my mom out for lunch, and I wondered if you wanted to come with us, Lexington asked. Connecticut said he would. After chatting for a few minutes, he ended the call. See you tomorrow at Johnny Spots. It's actually Johnny Shots. The next day, Connecticut met Lexington and his mother at the restaurant Johnny Spots. This was only the second time that Connecticut had eaten at Johnny Spots, and he enjoyed his dinner. How are Jordan and Christopher? Lexington asked. I'm learning more and more about them every day, Connecticut answered. This week I found out that Jordan's full name is Jordan Matthew Reese, and Christopher's is Christopher John Reese. Foreshadowing some of the future names that we will find out. They share a lot of the same likes and dislikes too. Jordan has a new girlfriend. Her name is Lizzie, and she's the same age as they are. Christopher likes some girl at school, but he won't tell us her name. Connecticut bowed his head and began moving the food around his plate with his fork. What's wrong? Mrs. Avenue asked. My girlfriend Kate is away on vacation. I know she'll be back soon, but I miss her, he answered. She probably misses you too, Mrs. Avenue replied. I bet she does, Lexington agreed. That was really good. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like. And remember to dare to dream. Next chapter is chapter 8. We are almost done with the book. We've got about 14 chapters. 9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We got about 17 chapters. Don't forget to stay classy too. Okay, bye guys.